Welcome back. Quick midweek update on the 75-gallon rimless. This is a deep blue professional 48 by 18 by I believe it's 20 inches tall. Update on the livestock. Um, I'm not sure. My cardinal fish are slowly wasting away. I'm definitely feeding the tank. I've been keeping an eye on the salinity, and I do my best to keep my hands out of the tank, but I have been somewhat challenged doing that. I made a couple quick changes. The skimmer and the auto top off system is on a timer, so the skimmer goes off in the evening basically and comes back on maybe 30 minutes after the lights go off. So my lights turn off after about, I think it's 11 and a half hour photo period, and then the skimmer clicks on, and of course the auto top off is on the same timer, because when the skimmer goes off, my auto top off alarm goes off because of the change in water height in the sump. And the salinity has been doing fine with the auto top off system being off for, I think it's about 4 or 5 hours that it's off. But I'm not sure. The clam, can't see it, but the clam has died. I'm not sure if it was specifically due to that. It could be the temperature. But the tank is running pretty consistent now that I put the heaters in. The display tank is consistently running around 80 degrees. And I'm thinking that slight increase in temperature is the reason for my recent challenges with the cardinal fish and clam. But the starfish is doing fine. It's still moving around. So no big changes in its behavior. I added 1 gallon of Kalkwasser solution to the auto top off container. So that's something that hasn't really been online for a while. So again, I think it comes down to consistency, and it's hard to maintain consistency if you're always tinkering with the tank, which causes changes in the balancing of the water column. So another challenge I have currently is bubble coral. So that piece of algae in the back is a bubble algae tree. It has a whole bunch of bubble algae, and there's some over there. There's some in the back, right there. I moved the bubble coral to the back. It's kind of ledged right here because it was not fully opening, being so close to the anemone. I need to trim back the pulsing zania here. But I have it fill in, the anemone is going to keep that in check, and the plate curl definitely keeps it from growing down here, it seems. And it's not jumping across to this rock, I think, because of that. I don't know, it's either enough of a gap or I just need to allow a little bit more time, but I'm keeping it isolated. Here's some more bubble algae right there. It's that little green bubble. As far as the either red slime algae or cyanobacteria right here on this rock. The reason it's only on this rock in this portion of the tank is because this one of these rocks was recently moved from the sump underneath the return pump and placed into the display tank. If you look back at one of my previous videos, and so that piece of Fiji rock was sitting in the sump underneath a return pump, and all the detritus and nutrients that settles in your sump was simply being sucked and absorbed into the rock, and so that's slowly working its way out of the rock. It just takes time. You can see it's not as bad as it was previously. Let's see what else. Still need to glue the corals down. I did remove 3 crabs from the tank. They simply, when I purchased them from the LFS, they were supposed to all be blue-legged hermit crabs, and the other ones were completely different, and they were actually for some reason starting to attack the blue-legged crabs. So I just took probably a week to keep an eye on all of them, and the ones that didn't have blue legs, like this one here, were simply removed from the tank. Let's see what else has changed. The torch coral is doing really well. This area is doing well. Pipe organ. That would probably be the first frag that I'll mount to the rock. My SPS Valley is doing well. I need to do something about this big piece here of Stylophora, I believe is what it's called. The bird's nest is back there in the background. The Monty cat is definitely growing. And then these are some of the most, these are kind of the entry-level SPS, and they are doing well in this particular area of the tank. So once I start mounting, and then you can see some bubble algae back there. The grape coral, I moved it up here, so I don't know if the spot's going to be too much light for it, but it kept getting knocked down where it was before, so I did move it. The frog spawn has opened up really well, is loving this spot, and there is a I guess they call it the silver tip frog spawn. I think that's 6, almost 7 heads on the one up top, and then the green one is, I believe, 2 heads now. Maybe, well, yeah, I think it's 2, maybe 1. Definitely 1 head. There may be 2 there. What else? I think I found this coral that I had dropped when I was cleaning the tank. I believe it is a blastomusa. This small coral right there. So correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a good spot for that one. Zoanthus are doing okay. They're a little bit brown. So my tank does pretty well running. It's not really an ultra low nutrient system, but I do keep the nitrates and phosphates very close to the parameters that I recently tested, simply just by the feeding. I've stepped up my feeding because I've been trying to fatten up this cardinal, and it's eating, so I don't know if I need to feed more. I did lower the salinity slightly, to 35 parts per thousand. I try and keep it slightly underneath that, so it gives me a little bit of a buffer when the auto top off system clicks off. And then on this side of the tank, more bubble algae right here. So I'm tempted to give the emerald crab an opportunity, see what it does. I'm hoping that it doesn't go after all the snails and blue-legged hermit crabs that are in the tank. But if I can have something naturally work its way through the tank, as opposed to using some other method. I've noticed when I do pluck the bubble algae out, it does simply just, it comes back, so it's not, when I do water changes, you can always pluck it out, but then it's just going to come back. It's just a matter of time. So we'll see. I'm going to try and find a natural way to consistently keep that in check before it gets out of hand. Let's see, the Kenya tree is doing well. It's coloring up pretty nicely, which is not always a good sign, because when the zoanthus and the Kenya tree and some of the LPS corals and the mushrooms start to look more, I guess, fuller or colorful, then it just means that there's more nutrients in the system than I normally have, which could impact the SPS corals. And so it is a balancing act. That has taken, let's see, this tank is over a year, but my cycling period was, I dragged it out, so I would say almost a year with fish and corals. As far as the sandbed is pretty much clear. I don't have any diatom blooms or things like that. I'm starting to see more and more purple coralline algae, the good algae, excuse me, that is showing up on the glass and also on the Fiji rocks. And let's see, what else? That's about it. No new updates on the equipment. Doing my usual maintenance, which is a 20-gallon water change every 2 to 3 weeks or so. No new corals. And just want to do a quick update. Thanks for watching. Welcome new subscribers, and please stay tuned for more updates.